we are moving on to meal 3. Okay, so this is salmon cakes. We're gonna do the salmon cakes with just regular mashed potatoes. I'm gonna make blanched broccoli and a lemon butter sauce. All right, so first of all, we're gonna start preparing the salmon cakes. If you think your family has a aversion to salmon, you can always do just like imitation crab meat to make some crab cakes. You could do real crab meat. You could do a mix of imitation and real, or even just do tuna cakes. Like I said, if you don't think your family's gonna like the salmon, that's fine. I just use canned salmon. You can use fresh salmon and cook that and then make your salmon cakes. I just bought canned salmon though. I'm gonna start cutting up all the vegetables and I'm gonna throw in the salmon cakes. Then you're gonna see me saute those all off. And then I'm going to just assemble the salmon cake, kind of like a meatball, with some eggs, some breadcrumbs, some seasonings, the vegetables, and I'm gonna form the cakes, okay? Then we'll brown those off, and then we'll finish those in the oven. Meanwhile, we'll do the mashed potatoes and blanch the broccoli. The potatoes, I'll just steal the footage from meal 1 since we already mashed potatoes once in this bin. So I'm actually not gonna make more potatoes. I'll steal the footage from bin 1, so you'll have that. You can use milk or heavy cream, butter, salt, and pepper for your potatoes. That's easy. Blanching the broccoli just like we blanched so many vegetables before. And then the lemon butter sauce will finish at the end, okay? So I'm gonna start on my salmon cakes. I'm gonna start by sweating out my vegetables. I've got diced onion and celery and some garlic in there. I'm gonna start with that. I'm going to give that a few minutes and then I'll add in the red pepper. I'm also going to season this up with salt, pepper, and dill. While they're cooking, I'm going to kind of pick through the salmon. Sometimes when you use canned salmon, you get some, I call them gnarly bits in there. I kind of like to use fresh salmon myself. I just bought the canned salmon for simplicity reasons. So I'm going to kind of lightly pick through that as well. Also, I'm going to chop up some scallions and some cilantro that I'll add in to all this. So I've got my salmon picked through, have my vegetables here. They've been laid out on the plate just to chill slightly. I've got my cilantro and my scallions cut. I've got my eggs. Got my breadcrumbs over here. I'm gonna assemble these salmon cakes. I'm also gonna add a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of Dijon mustard. Then I'm gonna make the little patties, and then I'm gonna dredge them again in breadcrumbs before I brown them off. So I'm going to start browning off my salmon cakes. I've got a mixture of hot oil and butter here. I'm going to brown them on both sides and then finish them in the oven. Meanwhile, I've got the water ready to go to blanch the broccoli. As soon as the salmon cakes go in the oven, I'm going to drop the broccoli. So our salmon cakes and our broccoli and our potatoes are almost done. So we're going to start our sauce. We're going to start by simmering 3/4 cup of heavy cream. We're going to reduce that down with the zest and juice of a half of a lemon. And then we're going to whisk in some cold butter. Our cream is bubbling rapidly and it's thickened, so we're going to actually remove this from heat, and then we're going to whisk in our cold chilled butter. You do need to do this kind of fairly quickly, and we'll season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. This has to be real butter, okay? You can't use margarine or anything else like that. If you don't use real butter in your household, you could just add a little bit more cream and like put some stone ground mustard or something in this if you didn't want to make the butter sauce. Make sure all your butter is whisked in. Season it up with just a touch of salt and pepper. So here's meal 3, our salmon cakes with our mashed potatoes, our blanched broccoli spears, and then we have the lemon beurre blanc sauce. This is a very rich sauce, so you're just going to put a little drizzle over your salmon cakes. Salmon cakes, lemon butter sauce, mashed potatoes, and blanched broccoli. Bin 14. Thanks so much for joining me. Hot Mom's Dinner Club.